Hello everyone, I'm Aditya Shenoy. I've spent the past 10 years in the Indian digital publishing industry. And today I'm going to teach you how to set up your own blog on WordPress.com. Let's begin. So the first step itself, you need to head to WordPress.com. Hit on Get Started. Now you're given three options to choose from. You can either set it up using your Google account, with an Apple account as well, and with email ID. I'll choose Google just because it's a simpler process. Now I have set up two-step authentication, which requires me to enter the authentication code. If you've not done it, you'll probably not see this step. Number one would be choosing your domain name. Now this is something that people or your audience would primarily type in to reach your website. Now the main thing is having something that is unique. You shouldn't have a domain name that is very common or that's hard to spell or even type out. An easier domain name will ensure that people find your website easier. So as you can see, all the options, we are going for content crafting. So contentcrafting.blog is available. Now looking at WordPress.com, there are multiple options that are available, free as well as paid. If you want content-crafting.com or whatever your domain name is, you might have to pay additionally for the domain name. Otherwise, if you're okay with going for .wordpress.com, you can start with that for free. So that is something that I will be doing to get started, because after all, I've promised you to set up a blog for free. So that's exactly what I'll do. So there are multiple domain options that WordPress offers. You can have a .blog, .in. Free one is .wordpress.com. That is the one I'm selecting, and we can proceed. You also have the option to choose the domain later in case you're not yet decided on what you'd want to do. In terms of WordPress, they have multiple plans on offer. So depending on where you are with your website. So say if you're just getting started, you can get started with the free plan. If you are in the publishing space looking at publishing a certain amount of articles set every month, you can go for other premium plans that are available. So the personal plan is priced at 200 rupees per month here. The premium plan is 350 rupees per month, and it goes on. The most expensive plan here is a WordPress Enterprise, which starts at 25,000 US dollars. And this is something that a lot of high-end publishers like Condé Nast and Bloomberg, they use that. So you're going to start with free and set it up. Okay, so WordPress helps you select the goals that you would want to do with your website. So for me, it's write and publish. It's going to be a blog. You can also, if you are setting it up to sell stuff online, you can select the sell online option. If it's primarily to promote yourself or a business, those options are also available. If you have an existing website and you want to import it to WordPress, that is also an option which you need to select. I'm starting from scratch, so I'll just select for writing and publishing. The blog name, I'm going ahead with content crafting, and the tagline is, so these are again options. Your blog name and the tagline is optional. I'm just going to go ahead and set it up. Now once you've set that up, WordPress setup offers you three options here. You can draft your first post. You can watch blogging videos to help you get the basics of blogging. That is something you can watch if it's your very first website. Or you can go ahead and choose a design for your website. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a few designs. Now there are multiple designs to choose from, and this is not permanent. So at a later stage, you can go ahead and change this to suit your liking or the way your website is progressing. You can make that changes later. So I've selected a free theme here. There are more options to customize the colors, the font, that you can customize it. It also gives you previews on how it will look on a desktop, a tablet, and even a smartphone. You can make changes if you want. I'm going to keep it closer to what the default is and proceed. Now, as you can see, WordPress is setting all of this up based on the inputs that we've given, and we should be able to look at what the blog is going to look like. As you can see, this is set up and we can start ahead with our first post. So now that you can see, we are in the editor for WordPress, and this is how you can get started with your very first blog. So I'm just going to add a short note here, which we can go ahead and publish as well. So now that I've added the first post, you can also go ahead and check the preview of it on a desktop. I'm going to move the preview to a new tab, and here it how it looks. Now, as you can see, I've missed adding a feature image here, so we can quickly add a featured image to improve the way this post looks. Okay, so I've added a feature image as well, and I'm going to show you the preview again to show what impacts the post. As you can see, this is a much better way of, it looks much better. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. Very simple. Like, there's a lot of other processes as well, like there's AI assistant, social previews. All of this is something that we'll need to set up, and I'm just going ahead publishing my first post. So we've done that. We've set up our WordPress based website and published our first post. So as you can see, the website is now live. We've added our first post. There are multiple posts in the template as well. So I've already published a post on the website. I'll also show you some of the other theme options that you can choose from. Now, we've set up WordPress using one of the few theme options that was offered, but you do have the option to change themes, and this can be changed at any point. So I would want a newspaper or a news website like theme for my website. So these are some of the options that are free. Hit info, click the demo website to take a look at how the website would look. Now, this particular theme highlights authors, has categories, even multiple tags. It's like a word cloud sort of a thing. Now, it differs from themes to theme. So it primarily depends on what kind of content you're doing. So if you are looking at, say, having all the latest news, which is then categorized in different segments or sections, such as finance, real estate, breaking news, entertainment, then you would want to select a theme that gives you these different sections as elements. These are all customizable. You can also set up a theme from scratch if you have a designer in-house or you're looking to hire an agency with the theming. I'll activate this theme and as you can see, it's very simple and straightforward, a one-click option. As you can see, it's already switched to the new theme. I'm going to go back to WordPress. Themes are customized. You can also go to pages, create a couple of static pages, such as your About Us page, your Contact Us page. This has all the information and also helps establish authority as to who you are and what you're doing with the website. You can also use the About page to uh, pretty much denote all the social media handles over there so that people can follow you on these social media platforms as well. Apart from that, there are multiple plugins that you can use along with your WordPress website. Jetpack is something that comes by default. You can go ahead, enable a lot of the features. As for plugins, so plugins are basically tiny tools that help enhance the feature on your website. So you can add newer functionality to your website using plugins, and with WordPress, most of these are a simple one-click plugin. So you can have a website builder using Elementor. You can have form submissions. So if you would want to collect your visitors' data, such as their email ID, so that you can reach out to them later using emails, you can set up the WP form plugin. But I will collate a list of free plugins for you to use. Quickly look at Jetpack. So Jetpack gives you a log of the activity on your website. Backup by default, I assume, is not available. You will need to upgrade to a business plan. Now this becomes essential for digital publishers who are frequently posting on WordPress. Backup becomes essential, and upgrading to a business plan becomes pretty much required. So backups can be done in either a weekly manner, a daily manner, or even monthly. Would not recommend going for a monthly one because it's far spaced out. Okay, apart from that, let's go into users. Now if you have multiple people in your team who are writing for you, you can add a team member. You can define roles. Now by default, you've set up the website, so you get the administrator privilege. You can add more team members, and these are the 4 roles that are offered on WordPress by default. That's of the administrator, the editor, the author, and the contributor. So if you have someone who's regularly writing articles on your website, an author profile works best for them. A contributor is probably good for freelancers or for guest posters. You can have that set up. For someone managing your systems, you can give them the administrator access so that they can look at the security of the WordPress website. They can look at the plugins that is required to function, for the website to function smoothly. An editor has better privileges than the author. They will be able to delete posts, make changes to segments or sections rather, add tags and stuff. So I'm currently you can simply add this thing. And also when you say go ahead with a contributor profile, it does give you the option to say that the user is a freelancer or an agency. So this way you will be able to disable this account if you don't want to use it further. So let's say that if you are looking for building a blog or a niche website that publishes on a daily basis, I would say that the free WordPress plan does feel a little restrictive in terms of what you can do with it. So a couple of plugins will need payment. Even for WordPress, the website itself, the ones that I've created, you wouldn't want .wordpress.com on your website. So you'd want a proper domain which will need you to upgrade to a plan. You can change domains at any point. It's not necessary to go with the right one while setting up, but that is something you need to keep in mind. So while I'm talking about upgrading plans and spending money, there's also ways to make money on your WordPress website. A couple of tools are listed right in the tools section. So you can monetize your website using ads. You can also accept donation and tips. You can also use a subscriber only content wherein subscribers have to pay in order to read your content. Now this works especially well in terms of niche website or content that is not usually available. So think about it this way, that content that's available for free elsewhere, you're going to have a hard time monetizing that. You can also collect emails from your readers using the WP Forms plugin, like I mentioned earlier, and you can send them as paid email letters, but then the content that you put in the newsletter can be used to make some additional money for you. Advertising again is pretty similar. You can also promote your articles to advertise or to get more eyeballs on it. Apart from that, there's not a lot of stuff that you can do with free WordPress. The other thing is, you would also notice that it has a banner on top of your website. I'll just quickly switch to it. You can see that this banner is available on the website, so you will have to pay to remove the banner. And looking at the pricing is not steep, so that is something you can consider. So I've pretty much set up a basic website for free using WordPress. If you want me to explain to you the different paid options, I'll be happy to do that.